Today, we're going to shoot some webs, climb some walls. This machine does it all. I'm talking about Stern's Spiderman. Welcome to Table Talk.
Spiderman, Spiderman, friendly neighborhood Spiderman. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a hang-up, you'll find the Spider-Man.
So the other day I was scrolling through the games on my virtual pinball machine. I've got, I think, 350 on here. So there's a lot of games I've never played before. And I thought I'd try and find something new, something fun that I've never experienced before. And I came across Stern's Spider-Man of 2007. And what caught my eye was this contraption in the middle here, which is much like Pinbot's little space visor that's on there. And if you know me, man, I love me some Pinbot. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So I thought, what the hell, I'll give it a try. I have to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. This is a banger of a game. It is so much fun. The first two times I played it, I actually beat the all-time high score, which, granted, wasn't that high because it's just the default game. Nobody played it before. But still, the fact that you can sit down to a game that you're unfamiliar with and play and beat that score tells me that it's player-friendly. Right? And it was a lot of fun doing it. And there was a lot more I could do, a lot higher scores that I could get if I, completed all the modes and stuff like that. So that in itself was very promising. I had a lot of fun playing it. I did a little research after that, like, where did this game come from? What's the deal behind it? And of course, I discovered that it's a Steve Ritchie game. Of course it is. That's why it's so fun. If you're not familiar with Steve Ritchie, the man's a legend in pinball, a legendary designer behind such games as Firepower, Black Knight, Star Trek: The Next Generation. I think now he's over at Jersey Jackson, just pushed out the Elton John machine, which I want to get my hands on. I want to give that a try. But these machines, all of them are iconic or have special features that have propelled the genre forward. And he's just an amazing designer, and it shows in this one. This game, most importantly, it meets my 3 F's of pinball. It's fast, it's fun, and it's forgiving. It is just a lot of fun. I love it. Let's see. The theme, of course. The theme is based off of the 3 Spider-Man movies, 1, 2, and 3. And the object of the game is to beat the 4 villains of those 3 movies. You got Green Goblin, who's popping a squat right here on the green 5-baked target of pumpkins. You've got Doc Ock, who's sitting on the shitter or whatever that thing is there. It's some drop hole. I don't even know why it's there, but it's there, and he's there, and just hit him. Sandman, center of the machine behind that contraption that I told you, and then Venom, who's hiding like a coward up here at the top of the side ramp. The object, of course, is to defeat all those 4 villains. You do it once, and you get an extra ball. Well, it will light extra ball, and you got to hit it by going through the orbit. It's not too difficult. You do it twice, and you start Battle Royale mode, which is a super jackpot mode. I think it's 4-ball multi-ball. Lots of fun. And hit jackpots until you light the super jackpot, get the big points. Lastly, if you do it 3 times, you start what's called Superhero Wizard mode. It's the ultimate objective. And if you complete that objective, you get 250 million points, which is a lot of frickin' points. But of course, it's pretty difficult to do that. Not on a table on this machine. It is very doable. From there, let's talk about the playfield. Okay, the playfield. Of course, starting with the plunger, you plunge the ball up into the rollover targets at the top that spell web. You complete those 3 targets, then of course you get, I think you multiplies your bonus. There's also a skill shot feature up there. Plunge the ball into the blinking light, and you get the skill shot bonus points. And of course, you can move that light with your flippers. If you don't do that, it gives you a secondary skill shot, which is kind of cool. The ball will feed out after it bounces around, and the bumpers feed out over the upper right flipper. And if you can push the ball up the ramp towards Venom, you get a secondary skill shot bonus. So that's kind of cool feature. The meat and potatoes of this game are located, of course, in the center of the playfield. And these are what's called the 6 major shots. They designate them as major shots because these are the shots that you need to make to defeat your villains and complete your game modes. They are the left and right orbits, the left and right center ramps, Doc Ock shitter, and then of course the side ramp to Venom right there. Those are your main shots. Are identified by the blinking arrows that come here, and it'll tell you when you need to hit them and how what you need to do to start your game modes and stuff like that. Then in the very center is the Sandman feature, which is the Pinball like feature that we talked about before. You knock those 3 targets down, they fade into the playfield. Now you can shoot the ball in there and access Sandman. If you go down a little further, of course, I mentioned before, you do have a an upper right flipper up there to shoot up the side ramp. You've got the 5 target drop bank here at Green Goblin on the left, another 3 target bank on the right. From there, the only other feature is probably your Spider Sense feature, which is a strange location to put it. It's actually behind the right flipper, and you have to lift the flipper up to let the ball go in. But that gives you some extra bonuses. I think it adds bonuses to game modes. It gives you more time in hurry up mode, etc. But honestly, I don't know how you'd make a skill shot out of that. I think it's just luck that it bounces in there, and you have to have that flipper up to let the ball go in to get it. For me, it just happens sometimes. I don't really ever try and target it or try and get it, but it just goes from there. Then down at the lower board, you got your slingshots and your out lanes and flippers. And then there's what's cool is I mentioned before is it has a center post. So a lot of times if you hit that ball, that it has a tendency to shoot right back down the middle if you miss your shot to the ramp. So it's a nice feature there. It's just difficult sometimes to take your hands off, let Jesus take the wheel, and hope for the best and let that ball bounce up, but it works pretty well. The artwork. So the artwork is, I'd say it's nothing to write home about, but it's not bad. It's good. It's got a Spider-Man city motif with the blue sky and the buildings, and then you've got all your characters, and Spider-Man shoots webs, does that thing with his fingers, that kind of stuff. Each of the ramps has the webs. I guess you're kind of, if you shoot the ball at the ramp, you're actually shooting a web at people or something of that sort. So it's cool. It's a nice feature. But what's really nice about it is it's very easy to read and see what your objectives are. Most games I play, I don't know what the hell half the stuff is. Unless I'm really familiar with the game. If I'm playing and it goes, hit the safe, I'm like, where the is the safe? I don't know. So this one, it has big arrows and bright lights, and it tells you. So you pretty much always know what you're trying to hit, which is a great feature. And they did that very well, in my opinion. And then they've got your information wheel down here at the bottom that has the villains that you've defeated and the game modes you've completed. Easy to see at a glance if you just look down for a second while you're playing at it. You don't have to take your eye off the ball too much, or when you have the ball saved, you can look at it, know exactly what you need to do. It's very good in that regard. And one of the coolest features is probably the D&D. That thing, they have a lot of cool graphics from movies and stuff on there. They did a really good job. You can kind of see through that one right there that's showing the Spider-Man logo. Kind of cool. That's a nice feature. This back glass that you're looking at right here, this is not the game back glass. This is a virtual machine, and this is JP Solis's VPX version of Spider-Man with his custom back glass that I put on there. I think it looks pretty badass. But the regular one looks pretty good too. All in all, it's a nice, pretty, beautiful machine, which is probably even better out in the wild, being deep inset and whatnot. Okay, let's talk about the game modes. Defeating the villains. So you have 4 villains. You've got to defeat each one, and each one starts a game mode. Sometimes a multi-ball feature or mode. And then once you've defeated them, of course, it shows on the center wheel. The Green Goblin over here on the left, pretty easy. All you have to do is knock down all 5 targets, then hit him again, and it starts a mode. I think to hit ramps or something. Once you've done that, you've defeated him, or it just starts a multi-ball mode, and you can, have some fun with that, and he's defeated. The Sandman, you knock down these 3 targets, you hit each one, they'll drop down, and they'll allow you access inside. You need to hit these yellow arrows at least enough times to where the Sandman, he'll raise up and allow access to a hole back there, shoot the ball straight up and stick it in that hole, and Sandman, I guess if you stick it in Sandman's hole, you've defeated him. So Venom, located at the top of the ramp, and it's a little difficult because that shot is not easy to hit that up there, but you get enough time to practice it because all you have to do is hit around the orbits, and so you can get a lot of shots at it, a lot of opportunities. It's not too difficult. You shoot that up the ramp and you hit him so many times, it keeps track up here on the DMD how many more times you have to hit him. Once you've hit him enough, it starts a hurry up mode, which you basically, I think it even shoots another ball into play, I can't remember. But then once it's started, all you have to do is shoot it up the ramp again to defeat Venom. Doc Ock is, it's not more complicated, but it has more modes, little multi-ball modes. It's kind of fun. You just basically slam the ball up there at Doc Ock, hit him in the gut, and it's the same thing as Venom. It'll tell you how many times you have to hit him. Once you do, it'll start one of the modes, which are actually labeled on the game here. The first one is Fusion Malfunction, and I think what Fusion Malfunction is, you hit him enough times, I'm sorry. You hit him enough times that he raises up, and then you put the ball in the hole, and then it starts whichever feature is next. It always starts with Fusion Malfunction, which is basically hit the ball up all the ramps, I believe. And then the coolest one, the next one, is called Bank Bust. And what I love about Bank Bust is there's a magnet right here in front of Doc Ock, and you hit the ball, and it will freeze the ball onto that magnet. Then it shoots a second ball into play. The object is to bang that ball on the magnet into Doc Ock with the new ball in play. That's a great feature, a lot of fun. I think that's pretty damn cool. I like that one. And then you've got Arm to the Dock, which is hit all 6 ramps, and then you light a super jackpot. So it's pretty much the same as Fusion Malfunction. It's just a little bit easier. I think actually you only have to hit 1 ramp, and then the super jackpot's lit. In Fusion Malfunction, if I remember, you have to hit all 6, and then super jackpot is lit. But that's the way to defeat the villains. Then you have the game modes. Now the game modes are mostly multi-ball game modes, and the way to start the game modes is there's white lights on the 6 major ramps, and you have to hit all 6 major ramps, turn off those lights, or turn on those lights. Can't remember which is. I believe I've turned them off. They'll be white, blinky, and you hit them. And once you've done all 6, it will start one of the game modes. Now the game modes, if I can remember what these are, Bonesaw. Bonesaw is one of those modes where you have to hit 100 switches. So basically you're going to shoot the ball up through the orbits and let it bounce around in the bumpers there until it hits them 100 times. Keep doing that until you complete that mode there. Then you've got, let me see, Rescue MJ, which is a difficult one. Oh, MJ is, it lights 3 shots, 3 of the ramps randomly, and it changes. And you have to hit those lit shots 8 times. New Goblin. This one you have to alternately 5 times hit the center ramps. Left, right, left, right, left. Or right, left, right, left, right. And if you've done that 5 times, then you complete that mode. The key to that one is if you do the same ramp twice, you start all over. So it's got to be alternating shots. There's a Daily Bugle, which is kind of an easy one. You just basically do this 3 drop targets here, and then shoot a major shot, and that should take care of it. Then, of course, there's the Amazing Spider-Man, which I don't remember which one the Amazing Spider-Man is, but I think I got it written here, so I'm going to look at my notes. I actually wrote frickin' notes. Let's see. Amazing Spider-Man hit all 6 major shots. Each subsequent shot raises the multiplier. So you probably hit 1, you get 2 times, then 3 times, 4 times, and it raises up exponentially. And you got to hit all 6 to complete that mode. I think I did all of them. Did I do all of them? Yeah, probably close enough. And those are your game modes. Now the key thing to this is the way to exponentially raise your point value. I didn't know this when I played it, but basically when you complete a game mode, after you've completed it, the next major shot that you make will give double points for that shot for the rest of the game, including jackpots or added bonuses that go on. So that's a huge way to raise your score. And so if you can be strategic about it, which one you go for, you can score some serious points, especially if you do it early. That's a good idea to go for that. As far as the, I think that's most of the modes. Well, shit, I got into a coughing fit. I got allergies. I got a coughing fit, so I had to cut that out of there. But sorry. All in all, that's pretty much what there is to this game. It's a lot of fun. I recommend you go find one and give it a try, or if you have a virtual machine, just install that. And I recommend JP Solis's version. It's fantastic. And trust me, you're gonna love this game. I hope you do. I'm gonna play it for a little bit. I'll do some recording of gameplay, and I'll either add it on to the end of this video, or I'll make a second video and just append it so that the next video will be that, just so you can get an idea. If you want to watch a little bit of play and see how shitty I am at this game, then might be a lot of fun. I think you might enjoy it. But that's about it. That's Stern's Spider-Man of 2007. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure as hell did. I'll see you again on Table Talk. Take care.